I mean, Mahomes threw for, what, 50 touchdowns? So even if he regressed to 40, I mean, that's still a fuck ton of touchdowns.
If you guys, this is...
Fuck ton. Sorry. I had to point that out.
Hey, not a fuck ton.
A fuck ton.
That's a difference. That's 18 different. 58 is a fuck ton.
You need like a heavy duty truck to pull that shit.
If he throws 50-something touchdowns... Or let's say, just say 45 touchdowns.
Anything in the 40s.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure it's going around.
Yeah, you do have to figure.
Yeah, Kelsey's gonna get at least like.
Hey, fuck you guys.
Like, poop dollar.
Let's talk about poop dollars on the football podcast.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Okay.
Dude, you can't say it better than that. That's the thing.
Dude, part 2.
Part 2.
No, this is Average Bro Season 2, Episode
2.
Part.
Episode
2 of the rookie episodes.
Wait, is it episode 1 part 2 or episode 2 part 1?
This is episode 2 part 1.
No, this is
Episode.
There's not 2 parts to this episode.
This is episode 2 part 1.
1 part 2.
No, this is Season 2, Episode 1, Part 2.
Correct.
Wait, but how can there be a part 2 of one episode?
Rookies.
Because you split it in half.
It's because at the ending of last episode, we put to be continued, ...
So it's episode 2, part 2, part 1.
Yes.
Season 2, Episode 1, Part 2.
2.
Okay, part 2.
No, it's Season 2, Episode 2.
All right, part 1.
I'm just waiting for Mike to be like, God damn it, it's fucking. He gets his little freak outs.
Well, I'm just saying, what if we do have a second part?
He gets into it, he has these little spasms.
Episode
It's
2.
adorable.
Return of the Rookies.
There we go. Return
Return of the Wookiees.
The best way to
Return
get
of the Wookies.
Well,
the
I mean,
Wookiees.
We
All
get
right,
to
I
talk
like
about
it.
our
There you
favorite
go.
lady,
For sure.
Karen.
Karen.
All right.
So welcome back, Average Bros. Episode 2, part 2, part 2.
We apologize for the foreshadowing
of
on
the
Karen.
everything. But Return of the Wokies. This
We're
episode.
woke.
That's your boy T.
This your boy T over here.
Who
As
am I?
always, we got Mr. Miyagi, aka the Mad Scientist, aka
The LDB.
Jack Off, aka I don't know.
Did you call my
How
Jack?
many
off?
nicknames do you have?
He's, I don't know, man. I thought you had
We got the
one.
Messiah in the house, aka Andre Navarro.
What
His
up,
nickname is
though?
his real name.
And I don't have a middle one, so.
Yeah.
Nope, we said
A lot
that.
of
last.
Hispanics-
Man,
a lot of
Anthony.
Hispanics
What are
don't
we
have a
calling
middle
you?
name.
Just calling you Anthony?
Dude, I'm
That's it.
fucking Chip.
Dude, he's Chip.
I had enough of your
Dales.
bull, Chip.
So we got your boy Chip and Dale's Magic
Beautiful.
Mike in the house. Okay, so last episode we went over the quarterbacks and the running backs. So this episode we're gonna go over the wide receivers and tight ends from the rookie class entering.
The Wookiee class.
The Wookiee class.
So we'll just jump right into it. So
All right.
we're gonna start off with the first
like,
round.
fuck
The
this.
only receiver that went in the first round, N'Keal Harry, wide receiver for the New England Patriots. N'Keal Harry. Is he number 2 receiver?
He was just kidding. Actually, 2 receivers went in the first round, but
Oh, you're right. I did mess that up, huh?
You know, you could have just said it in your mic and just.
I know. Well, yeah, I don't know. Man. I want him to do it.
Who went first? Marquise Brown?
Yeah, but he don't really. Yeah, but he don't really count.
It is weird that Marquise
You think-
Brown and
I
like
think we were listening to
should
audio, like,
have.
who's
I
whispering?
think that's just how irrelevant.
well, here's the
That
thing. It's
sound-
like
that
if
draft
Marquise Brown went to any other team, it'd be like, oh, let's talk about him. But he,
Yeah, it
you
was
know.
literally the worst
So
situation.
let's
AJ
talk
Brown.
about.
All right, no, let's talk about Marquise Brown then, because we're talking about it right here.
All
So,
right.
you know, and that just shows you that his landing spot, you know, we always talk about it's not necessarily the talent, it's the landing spot for these players that kind of affects them, you know. If he went somewhere else, maybe we'd be talking
Yeah,
about.
if Ryan Leaf landed in the Patriots, he would be Tom Brady.
Yeah, so like we were talking. Wait, what?
Whoa.
I say that a lot, and people always are like, "What?" That's just how much faith I have in Bill Belichick.
And then you always know who's not paying attention
agree.
because the ones that aren't paying attention are like, yeah. So you know they're not paying attention. It's just
no,
like, yeah,
that
yeah.
very rarely.
He would at
ever
least won like
happens.
8 games and traded him for like a second round pick.
He wouldn't have. He
anyways.
wouldn't have been stealing Lord tabs and drugs in Texas or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Is he still doing that?
No,
But no,
he-
let's,
he's actually like a motivational.
He's actually
speaker
He's actually my plug on pills. He actually slides
No.
through my crib all the time.
No, he's like a motivational speaker. He like gets people sober, dude. Come on, he's a good guy. He's
okay.
actually loves God and everything.
Well, it took him.
Can we get him on the show?
Him and Jesus are homeboys.
Right. Well,
you think
go
we
ahead.
DM him and get him
Let's
on
talk
here?
about Marquise Brown instead of fucking.
Yeah,
Ryan
let's
Leaf.
talk
All
about
right.
Marquise Brown here. Like you said, I totally space him because he's on the Ravens. And when I think about the Ravens, I just think about Lamar Jackson. He just wants to run the ball and them his accuracy. We always talk about it. You know, like we were watching his pro day, and his accuracy is just it's terrible.
Sporadic.
Yeah,
Is Lamar
it's
Jackson
just-
RB2 or RB1?
I want to say he is an RB2. He's an RB2 with QB1 upside.
Could be one upside for sure. So, like, you know, me and the Messiah over here, we were talking about, you know, if Marquise Brown would have went to like the Packers, you know, this would be a guy we'd be raving about, you know,
All
going
over.
forward. So, but he goes to the Ravens, run heavy team.
You're not raving about him on the Ravens?
He's
Definitely not
Ranting
not raving about him. So, what are your guys' thoughts on you know, Marquise Brown over here? Marquise Hollywood Brown, right?
well, I mean, other than his size of 166 pounds, I mean, it says, I mean, they ran the ball 64% of the time, and when they pass, they're not passing it, you know, with great success anyway. They did just draft 2 rookie receivers. I mean, their offense is kind of rebuilt. I mean, they brought in Mark Ingram, but yeah, they're looking to run the ball. They're looking to do, you know, control the clock and take up a lot of time and kind of, you know, do that with the game. So, I mean, I don't see much. I mean, a lot of people love the guy. He's related to Antonio Brown and it's family and all this and that. But I mean, his landing spot isn't the best.
He literally landed on one of the worst.
If not
spots
the
ever.
worst.
Them are
If
the
not the
Titans.
worst.
Them are the Titans. I wouldn't want to go to those 2 spots.
No, yeah, literally, I mean, yeah, for sure. You showed last year, same
I-
thing with Titans.
So trying to find the silver lining is, can we get Marquise Brown to 100 targets? That's where it's like, that's where you can maybe look at him as like a flex play. It's hard to. I mean, John Brown is gone. Michael Crabtree is
Gone.
gone. Correct?
He's at home.
Yeah.
He's with
Willie
us.
Snead is. I think he's still there, right?
Willie Snead is still there. Yeah.
It's him and then Miles Boynton.
What about wait? What's his name? John Brown?
He's gone. He's in Buffalo.
He's in Buffalo.
No, yeah,
So-
he's in Buffalo, guys. So let's not talk.
So there's
about him.
not even though this isn't the
Seriously,
highest
terrible.
like the highest passing volume offense in a bad situation, there isn't a lot of mouths to feed in this situation. So I think with him is, you know, maybe he can be a player where we look for him in high scoring games where maybe, okay, they're playing the Steelers this week or they're playing the Patriots or someone where it's a game where it's like Lamar Jackson's going to probably have to throw more than he normally does in this situation. So it's a terrible landing spot, but I mean, he is a talented receiver, first round receiver. He just doesn't have that huge upside. I think you're drafting him as more of like unfortunately, as a flex play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going in like the 13th round, so
Yeah, and that's
You're
where it's
not-
like if you take him there, I mean,
he's like the end of 30. Like he's literally one of the last guys you might just throw on your team.
and we never know.
Like
Maybe
he's getting
Lamar,
drafted. That's a thing. He's getting
Dope.
drafted.
Yeah, I
Dope.
mean, maybe we know. Maybe Lamar just runs a little less. That there's a new coaching coordinator in there, so I mean, maybe the coordinator, like I think he was a coordinator of Mike Vick or whoever, one of these, or Robert Griffin, or he's been like one of those like coaches for like passing quarterbacks. So maybe this coordinator runs some stuff to where maybe they start moving Marquise Brown into space on screens, or they do these underneath drag routes or slants, and maybe they can get some value out of him. And in the 13th round, I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on. You might know after week 1 whether he's going to be something or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lightning fast.
Yeah.
It's just his size. There's another rookie that we'll talk about later that I also like that's on their
He's
team,
very small.
but he's just so small. I mean,
Marquise Brown is small.
166 pounds, wearing Levi denim full body suit. So that's heavy. So he's not he's not that. And he's hurt.
You think 140?
Yeah. So
I think it all just comes down to the quarterback. You know, we always talk about Corey Davis, for example. Like, it's not Corey Davis's talent; it's just more about Marcus Mariota, you know, and his ability to get him the ball. So, you know, I think obviously, you know, he's got first round talent. They took him in the first round. I'm sure they're gonna, you know, draw up some plays, you know, to get him the ball. You know, screens, you know, end arounds and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it right here. I might just be avoiding everyone on the Ravens, you know, wide receiver wise, because I mean, we just saw, like, you know, Lamar Jackson, he's not the most accurate quarterback, and most of the time he's running the ball. So
And he's only 5'9", so it's like he's tall.
that's not, yeah.
he's
He's watching ball sail over his head.
Yeah, he's
He's like, bro, I'm only 5'9".
and this is
He
my
just threw
thing.
it a foot over my head.
Well, this is my thing. Lamar Jackson couldn't hit a 6'2" receiver, so I don't know how he's gonna hit a 5'9" receiver. But
I've said it before. He
In Gator
looked
boots.
terrible on his pro day, so it's like
so it's. I mean, I hope it works out, like I said, but you can't be a midget having a blind person throwing you a ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
All right, so the other
Maybe.
that was how many receivers went in the first round? Am I wrong? I thought
Two.
it was
Just
just
two.
Marquise Brown and N'Keal Harry.
Nikhil
right?
Harry,
Okay.
he went what?
N'Keal
30,
Harry was
31.
31,
surprise
right?
on the
Okay, yeah.
pictures.
But that just shows you how much Marquise Brown was just off the radar because he went to like the worst spot, and
Yeah.
it's just you're just not even thinking about him because you're like, oh well.
He,
went to the
yeah,
Raiders.
his
Irrelevant.
impact should be Harry's
the
impact
Raiders,
though
so.
this year should be a lot more prevalent.
Yeah. So you got N'Keal Harry, wide receiver for the New England Patriots. You know, they lose Rob Gronkowski. Chris Hogan, he's on the Panthers now. They did go out and they did sign Demaryius Thomas, but, you know, he's 30-something years old coming off a torn Achilles.
He's gone. He gone.
Philip Dorsett's out there still. You know, you got Julian Edelman, you know, in the slot. I mean, what do you guys think about N'Keal Harry here? You think there's some upside here with Tom Brady or...
As long as Josh Gordon doesn't come back.
Yeah, that's another thing. You got Josh Gordon, who's in the wing, kind of waiting. Does he come back? Does he not? I mean, this.
It could. I mean, that's gonna hurt. It could help. I mean, he's gonna be facing like nickelbacks. I mean, well, Edelman's more of like a slot guy, but I mean, they like we were saying. I mean, they did waste a first round pick on him, so they're gonna try to get him the rock in some regard. I mean, how many targets we think? 75, 80? That's like high, right?
Yeah,
That's like,
that's like almost undraftable, not undraftable, but it's matchup. That's like a flex play receiver.
yeah, for sure. I mean, until he proves if he's good or not. I mean, his size and what he does well fits the Patriots. As far as like they like to run like those slants, he's good in the middle of the field. He can catch the rock. He's physical. So I mean, he fits what they like. But it's just a matter of you go back and you look. The Patriots don't use rookie receivers that much. I mean, yeah, like Cambrell Tompkins didn't do anything.
And I was gonna even.
You had Aaron Dobson who didn't do anything. Like all these rookie guys that like don't do much.
I was gonna pose the question. Like I know he's a first rounder, but like the Patriots, like one of the best dynasties of all time, if not the best dynasty in the NFL. But I can't remember an NFL receiver they've drafted that has hit.
Yeah.
Like that is like one. Like,
that-
can you name one like receiver they've drafted that has been like a success?
Well, and then I mean Julian Edelman. I mean, and he was a fucking DB when they drafted him. I want to say, because I want to say one of those Super Bowls.
Julian Edelman play quarterback.
Dog, he played but do you remember that Super Bowl, dog? He returned kicks and he was playing cornerback in the Super Bowl. Like,
That was like forever ago.
yeah, when he was like, but I'm saying he wasn't even a wide receiver, so he don't.
Yeah,
even
so
count.
it's like a.
And like we said, this is the first time they've taken a wide receiver in the first round since Terry Glenn.
I mean, he was rated like on some people's boards as like the number one receiver, like overall.
100%. 100%.
You know, it's just kind of like I was listening to like a podcast and listening to Julian Edelman talk. It was actually kind of funny, but he was just like, this is one thing that got me thinking about this is he was just talking and he was like, man, like he's like Brady didn't fucking throw me the rock for like 3 years, like the first 3 years.
Yeah, to go
He's
live
like, it
with
took
him.
forever to get targets. He's like, I had to earn his trust. So it's like as a rookie, if this guy makes some mistakes or does this and that, is he gonna have that problem with Brady? Is he gonna trust him? And it's, you know, it's. I don't know. I just
It's like unproven almost.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean, he's going to for sure have to prove himself, but I mean, that goes both ways. If he goes out there and he makes some catches, I mean, is he going to throw the ball more than he throws it to Edelman? Hell no. Of course not. But
And then you have James White in the mix,
Yeah.
whatever tight end target that's still going, the pie chart. And then I'm just looking right now, too, because I kind of I know New England runs the ball a lot. I mean, last year they were 31 rushing attempts a game, third in the league. At home, they were 34 rushing, almost 35 rushing attempts a game. So I think when they're at home and they're winning games, it's going to be hard for him to have a high target volume to trust.
Yeah, I mean, the talent for sure is there. Obviously, first round type of talent there. But I mean, we've talked about it on a couple other players in the past. You know, the Patriot offense is just super hard to learn. You know, and coming in as a rookie, you know, is he going to be able to pick up on the offense as fast, you know, as he needs to be able to make an impact immediately? You know, and no Rob Gronkowski being there. I was looking at a stat I saw, you know, and it was, you know, the Tom Brady with Rob Gronkowski and then Tom Brady without Rob Gronkowski. And, like, his numbers, you know, they definitely dipped when Gronkowski was not on the team or not in the lineup at least. So, I mean, that's obviously going to take a hit. You know, Tom Brady's, you know, always fucking around Tom fucking Brady, bro. But, you know, he's getting older, 41, 42 almost. So, I mean, as much as I always say it every year, you know, I always tell one of my boys, like, yeah, eventually one of these years Tom Brady's going to be done, you know, and one of these years I'll be right, you know. But it is, you know, Father Time's undefeated, you know, and eventually Tom Brady's going to fall off. So, if anything, the only Patriot that I'm really wide receiver wise looking for is Edelman, because I feel like Tom Brady's still going to be able to hit those short, quick, intermediate routes, and I think Edelman's upside is through the roof. I think Edelman's got a huge opportunity to get 100 plus catches this year. So maybe dynasty wise, N'Keal Harry going forward, you take him, and maybe 2-3 years from now, he's a real impact, but. As a rookie, I'm not too sure about it.
Yeah. Now, where N'Keal Harry does offer some upside, speaking of Edelman, is Edelman doesn't have the cleanest slate of the best injury history.
Yeah.
If Edelman were to go down,
Or if Josh Gordon picks up a joint.
I think it was alcohol related.
Or
His
both
thing.
of
It
those.
was just like he just.
Oh, this one was alcohol, not
Yeah.
weed? Or even worse. So now he's got 2 things he's got to deal with.
But yeah, if Edelman
Boys
were to go
getting
down,
lit.
'cause Edelman doesn't have the best like injury history. So if he were to go down, that does change a lot of things. I mean, do the Patriots though just slide someone else into the Edelman's role, or we don't know, but. I mean, if he were to sustain, he's 33 years old too, Edelman, or what is he, 32, 33?
Yeah,
he's up there.
He's
so,
up there, yeah.
Did he,
I mean, do we even know if he's possibly lost a step? I'm just trying to play the other side of this too. Like maybe Edelman's lost a step as well. Maybe they need N'Keal Harry to kind of step up and be, a Josh Gordon light where he sees 8-7 targets a game. I mean, I'm just looking on the other side of the fence where it's like trying to find the upside is maybe they have to target him and they need him to step up because Edelman maybe lost a step, or they don't have Gronk and the other receivers aren't playing a role, and he is the first round pick that they drafted. So there is that side of the
They're going to use him.
yeah.
So
There's that side of it too that you have
Yeah.
to take into account, and maybe Josh Gordon doesn't come back to where he does have some appeal to like a wide receiver 3, maybe best case scenario 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, if you think, it sounds crazy when you break it down, but we'll speak fantasy. So if he gets 6 targets a game, 13 games, that's what? That's 78 targets. That's 13 weeks. So if you do 14 weeks, that's 84 targets.
Oh, you're speaking of okay
For
sure.
fantasy.
Yeah,
A 16-game
sure,
season,
yeah.
16-game season, I don't really give a fuck, especially about week 17. But, yeah, if you're trying to play in a championship, 6 targets a game, that's not a crazy amount. But if you can get that, he's going to get drafted late round, like 15, 16, 14. He's up there. Where's he at, 12? He's going to be a late round guy. Just because of that, because the Patriots don't use it. But, he's worth drafting, or someone will drop him. He's worth keeping an eye out and kind of just kind of peep him and see how they do.
Beep.
For sure, yeah.
Here's the other kind of thing I've thought about too as well. Is like, so Edelman, he's not a red zone monster. He's not a touchdown guy. He's usually 90 receptions,
PPR.
1,000, 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns. Gronkowski was a touchdown monster.
Yeah.
Brady, he's not the old Brady as far as throwing 40 touchdowns, whatever, but he's still going to throw his touchdowns. Where are these red zone targets going to go? Is there the chance that N'Keal Harry could be a red zone target, and we might be like, okay, maybe he's a better standard play. So there is that too that we got to kind of like keep an eye out for, and this is some stuff we'll probably see early, maybe even in preseason.
For sure. And his 2 strengths are running up through the middle of the field and high pointing balls. And they don't have anybody that can do that as far as the Patriots. They don't really have a dude that's going to jump up and go get a ball like that. Sure as hell isn't Julian Edelman.
And like I said, we're Gronkless now,
Yeah.
so maybe they're trying to run those. The Wes Welker dig screen routes, illegal
Yeah,
picks
it's
that
like
they
niche
never
plays.
get called for,
they never get called
or
for,
niche
yeah.
plays. So maybe we see some touchdown upside with him as a rookie.
Yeah. Pay attention to the preseason, like you said. Maybe they'll line him up in the slot a little bit
Yeah,
more.
just kinda get
A
creative.
lot of these teams nowadays they're putting the bigger receivers who are traditionally on the outside. They'll line those guys who are like 6 foot, 6'4", 6'5", whatever. They'll put those in the slot because they're going against those shorter slot corners. And if he's over there, maybe he's basically just taking over that Gronk role. So maybe the touchdown upside is there for sure. So just keep an eye on that. But so interesting name here. So you got, was it Macaulay? Am I pronouncing that? Nicole Hardman. Okay, so McCole Hardman, Macaulay Hardman, whatever. Whatever his name is.
Tomato.
Something.
It's Mikolai. He's Russian.
As I say, it's Tyreek. Is it Tyreek or is it Tariq? Because that's what we're
Nikolai
talking
Hardman.
about.
So wide receiver out of Georgia, signs with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is just an interesting name here because, you think of the Kansas City Chiefs, you think of Patrick Mahomes and the high-powered offense over there. So, this is just interesting to me because it's like Tyreek Hill's fate is kind of in the balance. We don't know what's going on with him. It's just, for me personally, it doesn't look good for Tyreek Hill. I think there's some type of suspension coming sooner than later.
What do you think? 4 games? 6 games?
I've been hearing 8.
8?
I think
You think they stick to 8
That's
or
what
they
I've
duck
been
it?
hearing.
I think no matter what, he's getting suspended at some point.
For sure.
So,
I think the
I mean-
NFL, the way that they've been lately, like you really have to have so much proof
I just like the
that
name.
you didn't do anything.
No,
Yeah.
that's my dude.
So I mean, we'll just see what here. You know, if Tyreek Hill does get suspended, I mean, obviously he's got an opportunity to step in. I mean, you still have Sammy Watkins there. You know, Demarcus Robinson, you know, Travis Kelce's obviously, you know, pretty much the wide receiver one, I would believe, in the offense. But what's your guys' thought on this guy right here? I mean,
I mean,
Sorry.
I remember
it's all speculation. I mean,
remember when like I said earlier, we were watching the draft together, and the Chiefs were on the board. And we were actually saying like Hakeem Butler would be a good pick for this, and then they picked him, and we were kind of like, you were kind of shocked, you know?
I mean, the dude, just because if Tyreek Hill never did what he did, this guy wasn't. They weren't really gonna take him. I mean, his skill set's pretty similar to him as far as like his speed and what he can bring. He stretches the field, but he wasn't exactly the most productive in college. I mean, he wasn't, anything crazy like that. But I mean, they like what he brings. But yeah, it's one of those. It's all circumstantial based on Tyreek Hill doing what he did. I mean, if he was not suspended, they would have taken that pick and done something else with it.
So it's almost like this offense is just so good, like you almost just want any kind of piece you can get from it. So it's like, I mean, in the later rounds, you're just gonna take a shot at him because you got Mahomes behind center.
For sure.
You want anything you can get from it.
100%. I mean, he's worth watching, but that's exactly. He's more just because he's in a good offense. There's teams out there that are like that. For sure this year, especially like the Bucs, same thing. You want to be a part of that offense. Saints.
The Rams. I mean, the Rams supported 3 wide receivers pretty much last year.
Yeah, 3 like top. Well, yeah, they had 3 like
They had
top
3 good
20 guys.
They basically said fuck the tight end.
And
position.
their best one was White, which was even better. If you think.
I mean,
about
Mahomes threw for 50 touchdowns. So even if he regressed to 40, I mean, that's still a fuck ton of touchdowns.
If you guys, this is
Fuck ton. Fuck. I had to point that out.
it. Hey, not a fuck ton.
A fuck ton.
That's a difference.
how
That's
many-
18 different.
Yeah.
58 is a fuck ton.
You need like a heavy duty truck to pull that shit.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's a fuck
how
ton.
many
fuck
F's?
ton.
How many F's are in that fuck ton?
Well, it's almost the same as the name you try to give the podcast. The FFFF.
I'm gonna say 4 capital F's. I'm gonna
Four?
say four.
That's actually lower than I thought. I thought it would be at least like 6 or 7.
Man.
That's what I was thinking with. The upside,
Fuck ton.
the upside on the F's is there, but it's a safe floor.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the offense is there. I mean, if he throws 50 something touchdowns, or let's say 45 touchdowns.
Anything in the 40s.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure it's going around.
Yeah, you do have to figure.
Yeah,
going
Kelsey.
around.
Kelsey's gonna get at least like.
Hey, fuck you
10,
guys.
like, so, fuck. He's gonna get it. I mean,
So N'Keal Harry, you think?
Nicole Hardman.
Macaulay Hardman.
Excuse me.
Unless they trade him to
Looks
the
at
Chiefs, and then
sheet.
hey, but if they do trade Harry to the Chiefs, you're for sure trading for Harry.
For sure.
But that's not happening. But you never know.
I think out of the
What's
rookies,
his ADP right now?
Bro, it's Nicole.
Bro,
That's what I
he's
was
the-
looking up. But
it's
then
Nicole.
He's the
I had it.
84th receiver I saw, which or something. It's probably lower. It's probably like 70. No, he's like 65.
So you
he's
can
going
pick him up in the
10th
third week.
round, 114th pick.
114. Jesus. So
I mean, at that point, you got to take a chance on him in that. I mean, it's
He has a higher ADP than what's his name, Marquise.
Valdez Scantling. They're going right next to each other.
hey, MVS. I'll take MVS in the 10th. That's another day. 10th round. That's been my boy since last year. I picked him up.
Yeah, I think when fuck, I just fucked up his name.
McKeel. No, you said McKeel.
No, dude, he's
McKeel.
too.
He's got, like,
he added
five
him.
names.
And he goes McKeel Hardman.
I did.
That bro, they're very similar.
Nicole-
Right? Fucking on paper,
Nicole
bro.
Hardman. He could be probably the rookie receiver who could possibly make the biggest impact. There's not a clear role to a number 2. I mean, or maybe he's even the 1B in this offense possibly. You look at some of the other receivers we're going to talk about and later in the podcast, but I mean, he is tied to a fuck ton of touchdowns. So I mean, there's a pretty decent chance that
Well, look, dude, he's going 2 entire rounds ahead of 2.5 entire rounds ahead of Marquise Brown. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The number 1 pick. For
Yeah,
wide
but it's because
receivers.
you got.
Because-
either
I mean,
it makes
Mahomes-
sense, but-
It's like
It's
Tyson
only-
but that's-
or Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
throwing
it's
you
the
ball.
offense and
I don't know, it's
situation.
The situation.
It does make sense.
it could be a 7th round pick, but if he falls into the right situation
So
and
that
the right
g-
offense,
That goes to what Dre always says. It's not the talent. It's where he lands.
It's where you land. Yeah, because I mean, you could be really good and go to like I don't know, the Titans or the Ravens.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tennessee
So you
people.
got the number one fucking quarterback.
Yeah, just
You're
someone who
out
likes
there.
to run the ball 100 million
It's not a
times.
bad pick. It's not a bad pick in the 11th round.
No, for sure. There's
No,
value.
I think
100%.
I think he's gonna. Well, here's the thing: is like that's assuming Tyreek Hill isn't suspended. If he is suspended, he's gonna go higher than that.
If he misses 4
He's
games,
gonna
do you
be-
draft him?
If Tyreek Hill's gonna miss 8 games, I
I'll
might
take him
try
at
and
8 for sure.
or 6 to 8. I might try and pick up Nicole, use him for those weeks. I might even try and flip him in a trade package. That's kind of where
Trade
I'm at with
Debo.
him. Where it's like, okay, he's had a couple. Let's just say he outscored Sammy Watkins week 1 or week 2, and everyone's like, oh, Mecole Hardman is the next Tyreek Hill. That's a point where I might try and flip him on a high side.
Yeah,
so
especially when he gets
Yeah.
hurt. Sammy Watkins stays hurt. He hurt.
He got them toes.
He got them toes and then things. He's just always hurt.
Toes goes.
For sure.
All right.
Well, talking about the Tennessee Titans over here, you just brought them up. They went out and they got A.J. Brown, another Brown, wide
Man.
receiver.
Dude,
It's Marquise's third cousin.
This is almost another situation with Marquise Brown right here. It's like the situation, you know, like A.J. Brown, he's got the talent.
Man.
And if he would have landed somewhere else, you know, maybe we would be more hyped and raving about him more. But he goes to the Titans. Marcus Mariota with his bum elbow or whatever it is, nerve damage.
His ugly mustache.
You know,
Yeah.
yes. I honestly believe that Ryan Tannehill takes over that job, you know, halfway through the year, if not,
weird.
you know, at one point. So, AJ Brown, you guys think there's any fantasy upside there? Or?
Wait, you're a
I mean,
Dolphins fan?
yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know if you watched film on this dude, but if you were to just watch film after he caught the ball, dude looks like a running back when he once he
Really?
has the ball in his hands and he's
Just nuts.
He transforms.
he just looks like a running back. Like he's really good in the open space. He's really good at breaking tackles. He has good like field vision. Like dude's good. It's just he went to a bad situation, and he was the best receiver on his college team with Metcalf, who we'll talk about next. The dude lines up in the slot. He can line up on the outside. He runs good routes. He's like 22, I want to say. So he's a little bit older, and like he just does everything really good, but he doesn't do anything
Sorry, I
like
heard, I heard
great.
22. I'm like older. I'm like,
21. Well, for you know,
I know. I'm just thinking
so
like.
right, yeah, for us we're like 50, right? But so yeah, he does everything really good, but he's not really weak at anything. He's pretty good at everything, but he's really
He's
good
a
at
round
open space.
receiver.
All the way around, for sure. But it's just unfortunate where he went, but you never know. I mean,
Here's my thing is
Could change the entire.
he's not going to
Lot of
DC like Corey Davis as the one, and they just what's his name from the Bucks just went there as well.
yeah, they have Adam Humphries.
Adam Humphries.
And Delaney Walker's still there.
Yeah, and this is like probably. I mean, I'm looking right now. Last year, Tennessee was 27.3 pass attempts per game, 31st. I don't see much changing with that. They've already kind of said they want to run the ball. They want to be that. They're like one of the few teams that is still like that old school. We're gonna run this
Yeah.
down your mouth.
They're one of the most run heaviest teams in the league,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And it's Marcus Mariota at the helm too. So it's like it's not this like huge like 300 yard, 350, 5,000 yard type of
Yeah.
quarterback. So it's going to be hard to get any kind of value out of him with Mariota at the helm and them being so run heavy.
And I don't know if you've watched Titan games. Their play calling is terrible. I don't know. What was it? Matt LaFleur? Was that where
Matt
he's at?
LaFleur is the
Dude,
They listen to
He's
the
the new-
crowd. They let Derrick
Bro.
Henry just keep going with the ball.
I watched them and their play calling was so bad
Yeah.
last year. I don't even know how the dude got a job. Maybe they're I don't know, but it was just
Because his name, he's like Peter LaFleur.
like I couldn't watch Titan games because it was so fucking boring. I was like, oh, here comes a pass. Here comes Derrick Henry for 2 yards. Here comes a pass, incomplete punt. I'm like, fuck this.
Oh, here comes Derrick Henry, 90 yards,
Yeah. After week
stiff
5.
arming 8 Jaguars down the field.
That game was so ridiculous.
I was so pissed off.
I think
I was
lot of people were.
fucking pissed off.
You know why?
watching
Because
that.
people who actually are into fantasy football didn't see that coming out.
He's a bum. I hate Derrick Henry.
And then so many idiots played him.
I'm not a fan of Henry.
I draft. Yeah.
I think we're just all in agreement. Like the talent is there. The situation, it's not the ideal situation. Like you said, behind Delaney Walker, Corey
good
Davis,
question.
run heavy team. So
But right.
So wait,
Speaking
just-
of good ones, what you got?
Oh, so on Derrick Henry, real quick. Sorry, would
God.
you take Derrick Henry over the 2 rookies we discussed in the last episode, part 2? So it'd be Josh Jacobs or David Montgomery over Derrick Henry because they're going next, like back.
Yeah, I would probably take.
I would take not Derrick Henry just for the simple fact that he irks the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want to.
So I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Like he's right there. You're right, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take Josh Jacobs.
I would
you know what? I'll take George Kittle.
I would probably take
right in between.
I'd probably take David Montgomery over Derrick Henry. I think I might take Derrick.
Dude,
I hate saying this. Maybe I might. I got to do more research, but I'd maybe take Derrick Henry over Josh Jacobs.
See, I'd be on the flip side. I think I would take, if I was going to rank those three,
I would take David Montgomery.
I would take Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, then David Montgomery.
See, I would go David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry.
We're
Just
just
because
all
Derrick
over
Henry
the
still
place.
has Deion Lewis.
So we all had different answers.
Yeah, well, because
different
Derrick Henry has Deion Lewis. They're on a
Good.
they're on a shitty team with shitty play calling and a shitty quarterback.
This is the episode of the first what enunciations are elongated.
Shitty.
The
Shitty.
But I mean, yeah, it's all about situation. But I mean,
Okay. Well, AJ Brown. So we're all in green. Like I said, we're all in green.
so then you got his
Well-
teammate.
Well, yeah, we'll jump into his teammate here, DK Metcalf.
Great situation.
Metcalf is the guy. If you're on social media, he took that picture where he's just fucking
Looks like a middle
he's
linebacker.
yacked.
He's dead right now. He has 1% body fat.
It looks like he did a full body workout for a month straight. And didn't sleep. He just lifted for a month straight.
He didn't drink water.
And then he took a picture and that was his pump. And he's just
Yeah.
like, then he passed out.
So DK Metcalf, just a physical specimen. I mean, he ran a 4.33 40, just a big body guy, just crazy, crazy physical specimen. But he goes to a team where, like we just said, like they're a run heavy keep They're looking to run the ball. They're not looking to throw the ball a lot. I mean, we've done some numbers on Russell Wilson. And his numbers seem to keep going down each year. He's not running the ball a lot. He's not throwing the ball a lot. It's a run heavy team. They want to
his
play
pass
defense.
attempts went up, and they went back down.
Yeah, they want to play defense and run the ball. So, what do you guys think about DK Metcalf? Because I feel like that's the name. That's a popular name that
Yeah, a lot of people are
a
talking
lot
about
of people are gonna probably reach for.
He's like right up
a
there
guy
with,
like him,
with
you know?
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Those are like 1-1.
I think he's gonna get picked before I would even start considering him. People's gonna just like you said, he ran the 4.3. He's fucking like the Hulk. He could just
Yeah, I
throw.
think-
He could pick people up and throw them off the field and
I
catch the
think
ball.
I think you're right up there, Anthony. I think that in most leagues, people are gonna be in. He's gonna get drafted super early, and you're not.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
You're gonna have leagues people who don't even know Tyler Lockett is or how much the Seattle runs the ball versus passes the ball. He's gonna probably go way too high where I'm gonna feel comfortable taking him. Seahawks were literally the most run heavy team in the league last year and 32nd in the league in passing attempts.
Right now, DK has him at
The ninth.
9th round. Yeah, middle of 9th round.
I think that's high.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, people see how fast he is and how big he is, but they don't know like his route tree isn't great.
He's limited on the route tree.
His break, he's terrible out of his breaks. He can run. I mean, but he's good at running the deep route, which is what Russell Wilson's good at. But dude can't run post routes. He can't run post corners. His slant routes are average. So he's just a big dude. But I mean, think if anybody was better that ran a 4.3 40 and rep 225 27 times, they wouldn't have gone 49th. Right?
And it's not just about being fast and
Yeah,
big.
you
And
gotta be
we've
good.
seen so many guys. Kevin White was fast and big. I mean, you talk about just speed alone. John Ross should be the 12-yard receiver because he's just fast. There's a lot of factors that go into it too as well.
Same thing. He and John Ross can't run routes. Same thing. He can run that fly route. They got to be. I don't know. I mean, AJ Brown was better than him because he does everything better. So I feel if AJ Brown had his combine numbers, AJ Brown would have gone top 15.
Yeah.
Just because AJ Brown does everything good and DK Metcalf can look like the Hulk, which is kind of cool, I guess.
I mean, for me personally, if there's a receiver I'm taking out of Seattle, it's going to be Tyler Lockett. Just the rapport is already there,
Proven.
and I mean, we were talking about it last year. Like every week, it seemed like Tyler Lockett in the end zone. Every week it seemed like he was getting a touchdown. They have that rapport, they have that connection. I'm not buying into the DK Metcalf hype over here.
But here's my question: in your leagues, how did you guys have Tyler Lockett or no?
No, I didn't.
Because in all of my leagues, whoever had Tyler Lockett was trying to trade Tyler Lockett like 4 weeks straight. It's like he did well, but it's like everyone who had him was like, dude, is he
Yeah,
gonna
it's
do
just
good
not
all
gonna
year?
go- right.
And then he just like finished okay, right? He still finished solid, but like, it's like even the owners of him were like, I don't know.
Like trying to get rid of him.
People were like trying to dump him off, even though he was solid. Yeah, and people do forget about him because it's one of those things like we're saying, like DK Metcalf is big and strong and fast, and then you have Tyler Lockett.
So
who's
are
like
you saying
small.
you're gonna draft DK and hope for him to actually do well? And
Or are you saying it's just helping Tyler Lockett?
No,
be
I'm just saying,
value?
yeah, it's helping Tyler Lockett because everyone's so wrapped up on how big this dude is, and Tyler Lockett's what, like fucking 5'10", like 175 pounds.
he's 5'9", 173 pounds.
Is that what he is?
I mean, he only,
that's
he only
pretty
had,
close.
he only had 71 targets, Tyler Lockett, and he had a ton of touchdowns. But
So his touchdown rate's gonna go down. I
but
mean,
Doug Baldwin's gone. That's the thing. And
he's having surgery literally like right now.
And as we said, he just messaged us.
He just had another
He's like-
surgery.
He's like, hey boys, I want to get in
He
the
just got
podcast.
out.
When I heal up, let me know. I'll be
He
there.
he just had a root canal, I guess. Fucker had a sweet tooth. I don't know.
He's 5'10",
I would say-
182 pounds.
I would say he can't catch a break, but we're not here to be funny. He has too many breaks. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's number 3 in the pecking order. I think David Moore is still. I
David
actually
Moore,
low key like David Moore as a late round like flyer pick. He showed some upside. He showed some talent. He showed the deep ball too as well. It's just I don't think he's gonna pass those two guys. I think he's gonna have a week or two though where he goes for like 120 and 2,
He'll have
just
some
based
boom
off
games
his
for sure, yeah.
based off his talent. If you're in a best ball league, I mean, take him with one of those late picks. But I mean, the 9th round, I mean, there's a lot of value right there.
There's a
still to
guy.
be
I mean, I
had,
just
and-
did a post on the Instagram, about Cortland Sutton. He's going in the 9th round, and if it comes to me and it's Cortland Sutton or DK Metcalf, I'm taking Sutton every time. You know what I'm saying? Just off the top of my head. So
For sure.
So I think we're all, like I said, all in agreement right there as well with DK Metcalf. Big name right here. Let someone else jump and take him. That's good for you because now a good, better player falls to you.
Yeah, like Paris Campbell.
Available. So like Paris Campbell, nice little.
Well, I like
What's that
him.
called?
Segue. I digress.
Transition, segue,
Transition.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Transition.
No, now you talk about landing spot, dude. Super fast.
So Paris Campbell, Ohio State wide receiver, goes to the Indianapolis Colts. What's the Messiah got to say on him?
I mean,
Andrew Luck.
Well, Andrew, not only that, dude. T.Y. Hilton he played hurt like half the season last year. So I mean, he's a little guy. So I mean, Paris Hilton isn't the biggest dude, but I mean, when you're in a situation with a
Say
good
Paris
quarterback,
Hilton.
I did Paris Campbell. You're right. Paris Hilton's a hoe. Anyway, you're right. That was
He
good.
did. He said Paris Hilton.
And the way you looked at me when you said it, I was like, I was like, hold on. I mean, Paris Hilton's catching some shit, just not like footballs.
Not footballs. Just,
catching
I'm just
chlamydia.
the penicillin shots.
She's catching chlamydia. It's running
I'm
rampant.
sure she's catching something, but no, this dude Paris Campbell. No, yeah, good offense, good quarterback. His path to playing time should be pretty good as long as he doesn't fuck it up. I think he just has to show up there and do well and just do what he does, which shouldn't be too hard. And he should be at least in line for like some slot work. And I mean, at that point with his talent, I mean, he's super lightning fast, and they like running like those like quick screens, those quick hits. The Colts do. So I mean, it's more fit for his like kind of style of play and the kind of player that he is. I mean, and they pass the ball a lot. I'm pretty sure they passed the ball. Did they pass the ball the most last year? Did he drop back the most?
Anthony said that Luck would throw the ball 50 times a game. And
Dude, I had him in fantasy.
he was
I'm
like, hold my beer.
Bro, I was like, how did this dude just have fucking triple shoulder surgery? He's throwing 100 times a game. I'm
Dude,
like,
it's insane.
Let me
insane, bro. That was
what's so funny is
like
last
we're
year
gonna ease him in.
Anthony dropped him in like week 2 last
You're
year.
true, dude.
No, week 3. I know we had short benches. I had no choice.
Oh, I was gonna say, in our league, I took it with no backup. I'm an
No,
idiot.
so
What a fucking moron.
Anthony dropped him super early,
His games weren't that good though. The first 3 games, they were like.
and he was like, he said the whole short
curious.
bench thing, and every
I'll
week
show you.
he was like, yeah, he said the same thing. Dude, I
Said it
mean,
one
look,
week.
he's coming off that injury. Like, there's no way he's going to throw the ball 50 times. He literally said it on the podcast. There's no way he's going to throw it this many times a week.
Yeah, he was terrible.
50 times every game.
So hey,
Literally
first week
did exactly what he
First
said.
week fantasy points, he got 23.5, then 14, and then 15, and then AMAC drops him, and then he gets 42, 28, 30, 30, 30,
That's what I'm
30,
saying.
Bro, it was
30.
literally-
But dude, he was so consistent.
Yeah,
28,
the
9,
first 2
28,
weeks, that's what I was telling you. He
Dude.
wasn't doing shit. I was like, he's
Bro,
throwing the ball this many
it was
times, and the
so
points
funny.
aren't there.
It was so funny because every week Anthony's like, there he goes again.
Dude, right here,
Turbo.
hey.
60 pass attempts.
The week to go to the championship, dude got 8 points. I wanted to end his life. So I don't know how even I won. And then 26. This dude,
He ends playoff dreams. That's
well,
what
no, he was
does.
like freakishly just consistent. 28, 29, 27,
was
29,
ridiculous.
29, 30, 28, like 41. Damn, AMAC. I mean, and
Right.
the thing is, they got running backs that could catch the ball too, so that's what helps. Like Marlon Mack can catch. I mean, Naheem Hines is more of like their third down back. So, I mean, all signs point to they just slang that thing
Yeah.
all the time.
I mean, for me, it's not too much about Paris Campbell. It's more about like the Andrew Luck, like you said. I mean, for me personally, Andrew Luck's going to be my QB1. I mean, I think Andrew Luck could be the guy this year that we're talking about. Like he hits the 50 touchdown mark, finally. So
and he doesn't turn the ball over that much.
I mean, good offensive line. Like what's that crazy stat where like he didn't get sacked for like
It was like
5 or 6, 7, 8 games. I don't know, something crazy like that, right? Like
Well, they have the best line in football.
He went like a certain streak where like he didn't get sacked for X amount of games, and you add a weapon like Paris Campbell, Devin Funches, you get Jack Doyle back. Like you said, you got Naheem Hines, Marlon Mack in the backfield. I think this is more about Andrew Luck than it is Paris Campbell. And I like
sure.
Andrew Luck going forward. So Paris Campbell will probably be just like a maybe potential weekly streamer. Depending on the matchup. If he does line up in the slot, as we go through the season, week to week, we'll find out what teams are weak against the slot. I know there was a couple instances last year, where certain wide receivers,
Jets.
Jets, they're weak against the slot, so whoever the slot wide receiver was against the Jets, you pretty much just played that guy because, he was always going to be open. He was always going to be making plays. So, if that's the situation with Paris Campbell, maybe he could be a weekly streamer going for you forward because that Colts offense is going to be electrifying for sure.
For sure. What we got? I mean, oh shit, another good Debo Samuel, another good landing spot. I mean, he should jump right into the 2. You would think so, right?
Is it though? Because when I was watching the draft with you were so upset about this.
I know. I'm a Niner fan. I don't really. He never had 1,000 yards in a college in a full season. He missed, I want to say, 8 games last year and like 6 the season before. So he's been hurt a lot. But one thing is they got a good look at him because Kyle Shanahan was one of the coaches for the Senior Bowl. So that's why they traded up. They got him before. I mean, he got drafted before DK, AJ Brown.
Yeah, so this is Debo Samuel from South Carolina.
So
wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers.
And the reason I know with Kyle Shanahan, he
You
likes,
hated this pick. I was
know.
watching the
No,
draft.
I still don't like
hate
it. But this,
You're like,
I
hate this
hate
pick.
Hate it.
And I kept telling you, like, bro, he could be good. And you're like, I hate it.
I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but he fits what they like as far as like Kyle Shanahan's likes all his receivers and know all the route trees for every position. He likes older dudes that can pick up the playbook because it's a little bit more complicated. Dude's 20. He played all 4 years, so he's ready to do all that. So they like that. He's physical. He's almost like I don't want to say poor man because they're in the same draft, but he's really similar to AJ Brown as far as like skill set. Just AJ Brown's better than him, I feel, as far as like everything. But I mean, he's not explosive. Debo Samuel, he's he's tough. Like I'll say, he's like kind of like Anquan Bolden. Like he could, which I mean, if he can do that, I guess the Niners will be fine. But they just see that like he's a lot more mature, and they say he's a little bit more intelligent, which is good, so he can pick up the playbook. And all he has is Dante Pettis and Marquise Goodwin and like Trent Taylor. So there's not much as far as like competition.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and I
Well-
told you, I was like, bro, if he could end up becoming like the next Anquan Bolden, I guess that's a stretch because Anquan Bolden, we were just talking about it, he's pretty much a Hall of Famer. But you're looking at like a big body, kind of like just a possession type of receiver, PPR kind of guy. I mean, you never know, but the potential's there for sure because, I mean, you got Pettis who's kind of more of a speedster, Marquise Goodwin's a speedster. I mean, like you said, Trent Taylor, and I'm not really sold on him. So
Yeah, no.
Debo Samuel could be that guy who can possession receiver. Middle of the field, PPR kind of guy. So.
And I mean, even though I didn't like the pick, as far as fantasy, he might have the most appeal, just up there for rookies, just because. I mean, there's targets to go around there. I mean, you got Kittle, you have Pettis, and then there's not really the pecking order really isn't like prioritized like that. And on top of that, I think he has an advantage over other rookies as far as Jimmy G was hurt last year. So he doesn't really have chemistry with anybody like that as far as like who he likes. He knows he's going to give the ball to Kittle, but after that, he didn't formulate much chemistry with anybody in the 5 games that he played. So it's one of those, it's like an open field for him to kind of, take some targets.
See, I'm just throwing a different perspective, but kind of I'm on this perspective a little bit as well. I think he's probably at best the 4th option in this offense. He's got Dante Pettis ahead of him. He's got probably Marquise Goodwin ahead of him. He's got George Kittle ahead of him. And then now you add back into the fact you have Jerick McKinnon as a pass-catching back, and you have Tevin Coleman coming over as pass-catching back. I think, he's going to – maybe he is a slot receiver, but he's not going to pass Kittle in the pecking order. He's probably not going to pass Pettis. In 2 wide receiver sets, it's probably going to be Goodwin and Pettis on the field. Yeah. So he's in there on 3 wide receiver sets. And then you still have Kettle in the middle of the field, and you have 2 pass-catching backs that are coming back into the mix now as well. So we're talking about a late-round receiver, but as of right now, I don't have much appeal to it.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't even like him, but I think you'll end up beating Marquise Goodwin. And besides the fact that Marquise Goodwin gets hurt all the time. He missed, 7 games last year?
Dude, everybody on that team missed.
They hurt. Yeah, so
the team is cursed.
And the thing is, Marquise Goodwin's
Jimmy
frail.
Garoppolo, Jerick McKinnon,
all the running backs.
All the running backs.
Matt Breida has super healing. Otherwise,
I hate Jerick McKinnon. I don't know. That's the worst $36 million the Niners ever spent. He's a bum.
I'm not a fan of McKinnon.
He's a bum.
But he's still a pass catching back, because where it's
when he's healthy.
But do you think the offense will be different this year compared to
Jimmy G for sure.
And even Kyle Juszczyk's a pass
that's what I'm getting at.
Jimmy G should make everybody better because he's a good quarter. I mean, from what we saw, he should make everybody better. But Kittle's going to take all those targets for sure. He's like the guy. But Pettis is obviously they love him right now.
Jimmy G even talked to Pettis.
Here's the thing is that
I like Pettis. I think
he was saying something about Pettis is like a.
He said Kittle didn't Kittle have like a good connection with who was the quarterback that.
Oh, Mullins?
Yeah.
McMullins.
Yeah, and
that's who we
Well, dude, well, what do you mean? He had his college quarterback, C.J. Beathard, was slanging him. I mean, but they were college teammates.
That's what I'm saying is that like they had that kind of a rapport, those quarterbacks with
for sure.
George Kittle. So it's like, does Jimmy G still have that same rapport with George Kittle? Like I think it's kind of a crapshoot over there.
Because I look at it as like you have to look at Kittle as like a wide receiver in this scenario where it's like he's the wide receiver 1 probably, maybe the wide receiver 2, maybe with let's just say Pettis took a huge leap. So at best you're looking at Debo Samuel as the wide receiver 3 in this offense with a lot of pass catching running backs, and that's not even assuming he passes Marquise Goodwin. If he doesn't, he's the wide receiver 4 in this offense. Yeah. That's where I see it's. But like I said, all the receivers got hurt, so you never know.
I mean, for redraft, yeah, for sure. Late round dynasty, he's solid. You're good on that because, I mean, Marquise Goodwin. I mean, I don't know what his contract is, but he's not like a. I could see them drafting a wide receiver and he could be gone next year. I mean, he's a speedster. He's cool. That's dope. Dante Pettis is just as fast as him.
Right.
I'm not tripping.
He's cool.
He's cool, but he's little as fuck and he gets hurt all the time. So.
And he cries about his dead baby all the time. It's like, dude.
Jesus.
Harsh, dog.
He was waiting.
Just kidding. Marquise Goodwin.
Cut that out.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
I didn't want to talk about the homo thing, but
Jesus.
But I feel you though.
Thing.
When I was talking about our
Anyway, so let's jump into a pair of
Jesus
rookie wide receivers here. They're both the Cardinals. So we got Hakeem Butler. And then your boy,
my boy,
you were talking about him. Like I said, we were at the bar, and you were hyping this guy up. And you were like, "Bro, this guy Andy Isabella. I never heard of him. I was like, I don't even know who that is.
More known as the son of Karen Isabella,
Mrs. Isabella. But yeah, you were hyping him up to me, and you were like, "Bro, like I said, dude, we were at the bar, and you pull out your top pocket these little lists." And you're hyping them up, and then boom! All of a sudden, it just came across the board. The Cardinals select in the second round. Second round, right?
Second round.
Andy Isabella, and you were literally just talking about him, and I was like, bro, that's crazy. So, led the nation in receiving yards, right, in college last year? Led like 1,700 ish.
Led receiving, and then you can go look up his stats against Georgia. Fries. I want to say like 14 catches for like 190.
Just
and 2
lit
touchdowns.
him up, right?
Just lights up. You can go look at his numbers when he plays big schools. He dogged.
Ran a 4.3 40.
4.340. He had like 27% of target share, which was the highest in the country. So the reason I like him is because when everyone on the field knows you're going to get the rock and you get the rock and you catch it and you score that many times, you're good. And he's white.
Yeah.
Right. But
Dude,
I mean his speed. But
You gotta fucking stop saying that.
he's a white dude. He's a white. I mean, come on. And this is a thing. So
Oh, you're saying like he's
white. Dude.
going against what?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, usually when you see, like, small white dudes that are fast, you typically think, like, slot. But this dude can line up on the outside. He has lightning speed. So he can line up. You're
saying it's impressive.
4.3 is.
Yeah, he runs a 4.3.
Fast.
And from what I've read,
For a white guy, that's like 4.1.
No,
yeah,
okay,
dude, he had the fastest 40 in the combine. And I mean, and the thing is, too, he loves football. So he's kind of like Cooper Kupp. Last year,
Damn, he loves football?
Cooper Kupp is like the same thing, like first to get there, last to leave, like is in the playbook, like they're longer than everybody else.
You're talking about Andy.
You know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp was like that last year where he's like fully invested. He's the same way.
Right.
Yeah, he shows up first and he's like one of the last guys to leave like every single day. But this dude, I guess, just puts in like overtime with all the receiving coaches. And he's just like, that's just like what
He's
he
a
does.
workhorse.
He just puts in work. Apparently, what I read with his signing bonus, so he didn't have a car, so he was riding his bike to like the facility every day. And when he got his bonus, he bought a whip. He said so he could just go to the training facility and train more.
Jesus.
Nice.
So just hearing shit like that when you're going
Would he
to
buy a
offense,
Prius?
right? Who knows? Probably. Who knows?
So, here's a guy where
I was gonna.
dynasty wise, you're thinking this is Larry Legend's kind of replacement, right? You know, probably gonna mainly line up in the slot. You know, like a Julian Edelman type kind of guy, right?
I mean, we can beer bet this, but I think he might be the top 3. I would say top 2 rookie wide receivers next year, fantasy.
I mean, when we were at the bar and you were talking about, you were hyping him up, dude. And like I said, I didn't even know. And I'm not like so into college football as much as you are, but like I know a lot of the players, and I had not even heard of him. And then all of a sudden, second round, they drafted him, and I was thinking like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? But you were literally just talking about him.
I mean, he went to the Senior Bowl. I want to say he had like six catches, 80 in a tug. And like you can go look at he was frying these kids. Like his route running is bananas, and he runs all the routes, and he can line up all over the field, and he's lightning fast. I mean, I think it's more of the landing spot. If he was on,
I think you said the lightning spot.
if he was like on the Ravens, I wouldn't be doing this. But I mean, he went to an offense with Cliff Kingsbury, and they're trying to spread the ball out and run all these plays. So I think it just more fits what he does well, and I think it's just like all the way around, just him and Hakeem Butler. I mean, Hakeem Butler is a freak, dude's 6'6". Same thing. They just happen to go to like a really good landing spot where I think Cliff Kingsbury's gonna put him in like a position to like do well. Like here, we'll see what's up.
You think they'll spread the ball around a lot, so it won't necessarily be like Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, or whatnot. I mean, they even got the Seals over there. Ricky Seals-Jones, and then Hakeem Butler and Andy Isabella now. You think they just spread the ball around a lot more, and it's not necessarily one guy. It's just more of like a team effort, I guess, is what it would be.
For sure, and from what I've been reading is they want to run a lot of 3 and 4 wide outs, like their sets. Like that's what they want to run out of. So right now he's slated. I mean, it's still early, but he's slated to be their slot guy right now. So it's going to be Fitz, Kirk, Isabella. But I mean, like we said, it's still early. Once, the offense kind of gets going, you never know. But, I mean, they have a couple other guys. I mean, they got rid of J.J. Nelson. I know they have, like, Chad Williams, but he knows. But this is the thing. It's a whole new playbook. It's a whole new offense. Yeah. All those guys that have been there, the one that I did know, it's not a rookie, but Christian Kirk's been excelling because it's the same playbook.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I think if they were confident in the guys they had, they wouldn't have went out and drafted 2 wide receivers here. The one thing I could say is this though, is that you get Kyler Murray in there, and then you get Andy Isabella, Hakeem Butler, before the actual like training camp, you always have like the rookie mini camp. So that gives them just extra time to kind of like build a rapport. So I'm interested to see like, you know, when we get into preseason and we can actually see this like, you know, offense in motion and see like, you know, who does he favor, you know, because obviously, you know, the quarterback always kind of favors, you know, a certain receiver. You know, you build that rapport, you know, that trust and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So when you get into the preseason, I'm interested to see if you know, is he hitting, you know, Isabella more often? Is he going, you know, Larry Fitzgerald more often? Or, you know, who is his kind of like safety blanket in a sense, you know?
Well, for sure, I will say here's another good fact. So Hakeem Butler, so during rookie minicamps, Hakeem Butler was actually rooming with Kyler Murray. So I would look out for that too. I'm an Isabella guy, but they roomed together for those two, what is it, like 10 days or whatever
Hakeem
it was.
Butler and
Kyler Murray were roommates for sure. So I read that they had really good chemistry. I mean, from just being in the same room, I'm sure. I mean, we played college sports or just sports in general. Like, if you're in a room with some dude and you're staying together and he's your quarterback, you're for sure doing something.
Right.
So I would keep a lookout for sure on that.
There's no way that they're not
Talking about
plays or on the side, like
you know, like especially on like option routes, like
if you're sleeping next to each other, then that means that you're gonna fucking be walking to the cafeteria together. You're gonna be doing everything together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd keep an eye out on that.
Unless you guys like hate each other or something.
Yeah.
I was wishing it was
that was
Isabella,
like,
but I was like, when I read that, I love Hakeem Butler too, but his big thing was drops.
You know,
so he dropped a lot of passes.
Well,
what was his thing?
Tyler had that. You know, last year he called that rapport between Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff because I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but
Was it last year?
It was last year.
Last year.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you know, and he brought that up, and it ended up turning out as like Cooper Kupp was like kind of like a go-to guy Jared Goff had just because they had that rapport.
No,
so yeah,
it's
for
big
sure,
time.
and that will affect. You could have drops, you could, you know, but if you're his guy, you're gonna look out for him.
Yeah, especially when you're dropping back, looking at it. I mean, he's fucking 6'6". It's not like
it's not a hard.
I could be
target to
looking
hit.
this way, and I can see you running that
You're
post
like, oh
route.
shit, look at that fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah, right. Just catch
throw
it.
it to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's going to be good
Look at
for
that
him.
Wookiee.
That's going to be for sure good for him having that chemistry though. That's going to be big time.
Here's one thing I just want to bring up with the whole receiving core in general is how many yards do you think Kyler Murray's going to throw for?
I think he's going to throw for 4,000 yards. 37.
I was gonna
37.
say anywhere between 35 and like 40.
So I think so.
4,000,
Basically,
right.
4 is his ceiling. You're kind of predicting,
Without sounding like a dickhead, yeah.
and that's kind of where I'm at as well because I think he's going to rush the ball.
Yeah.
It takes away from his upside.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we've seen Kyler, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, these guys weren't throwing for 4,000 plus in their rookie years too. David Johnson's there, so he's going to take a decent amount of those yards away. So how many yards are actually there to go around for these guys?
Yeah.
And that's just where I have a problem. And Tyler made it the point too. Is like, is this going to be where they spread it out a lot and it's week to week? It's a scenario we want to avoid, and I think that's a realistic possibility where this is just 1 week it's Fitz, 1 week it's Pettis, or not Pettis, Kirk. 1 week it's maybe Hakeem Butler, and I think that's a realistic scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 week they. Kyler Murray and David Johnson do a lot on the ground, so
Or just David Johnson.
or just David Johnson has a big game. So I just think with his passing yardage upside is limited, so limits the amount of yardages that can go to all these receivers. And David Johnson's a guy who's taking away from that as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's just say he throws for 35 and David Johnson takes away 6 of that. You're looking in the high 2,000s for these receivers and tight ends as well to be spread out, and there might not even be a guy you could trust week to week.
Yeah.
Yeah, week to week now.
Good points right there. Good points right there for sure.
Kyler Murray's just good at extending plays, which is just anybody who could do that you're going to take. Aaron Rodgers be scrambling around and slanging balls, so it's. But yeah, once you see the offense, but yeah, I mean they're going to be all over the place. All these guys, another redraft. I mean, Isabella and Butler are both worth 16th round, 15th round.
Yeah.
If there's nothing really there, or if you're in a league where it's no kickers or defense and it's like a double flex. That's even more important. Then you don't even have to worry about a kicker or defense. Which are we voting on that again this year? Hopefully,
We should. No kickers.
fucking
vote
no. I lost
kickers.
my other league because the kicker got 22
Kickers are
points.
stupid.
I hate
22 points. It was fucking
dumb.
Kaini
It's
Fairbairn.
just, you can't predict a kicker.
No, just what do you mean? I
Kicker
can
get
get my
20
There,
points or
there
get you,
really
like,
is
3.
just.
There's
It's
no-
like every other part of fantasy football. There is
It's talent.
strategy, like to putting them, rostering them and shit. And kickers is literally
other than the main ones like
Zero.
Zerline It's like I can get my 8-year-old cousin from
No,
Mexico
dude, it's
City
not,
to
though.
pick my kicker.
It's it's so there's no strategy to it, dude.
I mean, Justin Tucker's pretty fucking close as it gets to like. But even then, it's a kicker.
You don't know if the Ravens are
He
just going
could
to score 2
fucking-
touchave that game or if they're just going to fucking kick
Just
4
so
field. You have no idea.
Well, they did.
Yeah, it's
well,
just
I just picked the Ravens.
Chris
and Bengals.
Boswell scored all the points in a playoff game 2 or 3 years ago.
They can win 21-0 with 3 points, or they could win 15 to.
And we scored like 18 points or 16 or something like that. It was
I just
all
picked-
fucking field goals.
I just pick teams that stall that are like professional stallers, like the Bengals or the Ravens. Teams that just stall. Not anymore. Lamar Jackson's black ass will get every 3rd and 1, but whatever.
You're really black and white today.
I'm trying to be very black and white.
All right, let's black and white our asses onto the next player.
All right.
There's a couple other wide receivers here. I guess you guys
Oh, perfect. He's light skinned too.
can kind of call these maybe like honorable mentions because these aren't necessarily receivers
Yeah.
that are going to make like huge impacts.
I don't even know if any of the
but-
receivers we discussed are in the top 10 rounds. I mean, we're kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are kind
uh,
of just more like dynasty kind of players that are going forward and
Yeah.
shit like that. So
JJ Arcega-Whiteside, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe. Like if they trade Alshon or something halfway through the year, but yeah, he's a next year guy. But he's like
Who's this?
he's like
Who's
a
this?
poor man's Mike Evans. JJ Arcega-Whiteside
I mean,
from
you
Stanford.
still got Jeffrey, you still got Deshaun, you still got the tight end, you got the back. It's
Oh yeah, well I know Nelson Aguilar's on his last year, so he's not. They're not going to resign him next year.
Dynasty pick, like you
Yeah,
said.
yeah. So this guy will be like a week 10 or 11 dude. This guy you won't even draft. You'll probably pick up and be like, all right, let's see what's good. But I mean, his talent, he's like a Mike Evans though. He's not as tall, but he can box out. Both of his parents played basketball, so they're saying this dude is just like that's in him. So he's like his boxing out and his like red zone. I guess he's like a freak. He can catch like everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This-
that's a next year thing though.
yeah. This kind of just supported like I said earlier. Like I'm not necessarily sold on any Eagles really skill position player. The only Eagle I'm really targeting is Carson Wentz, and this is just kind of like another bonus to.
For sure.
Carson Wentz, right? Like I said, another big body receiver who can go out and get the ball and helps Carson Wentz. We go out there and get it done. Carson Wentz could be a guy we could see could throw 40+ tugs.
For sure. I
Going
mean,
out there. So
100%.
another receiver was it Terry
McLaurin.
McLaurin or whatever. So he actually played with Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State. So this is one of the receivers that here because there's not really a true wide receiver one over there in Washington. You got Josh Doxson, they've been waiting a couple years for him to come through. I mean, Paul Richardson, Trey Quinn. Actually, we
Solid. He'll be good for them.
We do. If Case Keenum's there, like I said, we did a post on the Average Bros Instagram. If Case Keenum's a quarterback, he tends to lean on the slot guy. So Trey Quinn could be a guy there, but maybe.
I think this is probably an offense that only supports one receiver. If
Yeah,
it even supports one. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing he's lucky for is that they already said they're not re-signing Dotson. They're not extending him, so he's for sure out.
Yeah.
So they're not obligated to give him the rock. But this dude apparently he's like a special teams like wizard. So I feel like he'll find his spot on the field faster than other guys because that's usually how you make like rosters. You got to be good on special teams.
you gotta be a wizard.
He's a wizard. I guess they said he was the best special teams player that was on offense. In the whole draft.
Did he graduate from Gryffindor?
I don't know. That's the only one I know from Harry Potter.
Slytherin.
Oh, he's from Slytherin.
I don't know that one.
Are they in the SEC?
Quidditch. So yeah, this dude is apparently the man at that. So it doesn't matter. He's on the Redskins.
This would just be
Dynasty.
a guy. The only way I'm
Yeah.
paying attention to this
Just know the
guy
names.
is if Dwayne Haskins takes over, and then he's in there because they have that rapport from the college. area.
From college. So yeah,
But
keep a lookout for him for sure.
so another receiver here, we got Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh Steelers over here.
What you know about
Hello.
him? You know about this dude or no? From Toledo.
Dude, I know about defense.
All right. Well, this dude apparently, I don't know. I watched his film. He's really good. I guess his route running is like
There's a lot of
top notch.
apparentlys going on.
Well, because I watched a little bit, so I don't want to say I saw a lot, but his strength is route running though. That's like what he's good at.
I mean, I'm just real quick. It's Juju, Dante Moncrief kind of establishing himself, and then you got James Washington. So you have
James
three.
Washington.
Then you
Vance,
have the Vance.
I'm big on Vance.
And the Vance is just
the Vance dance.
Vance
dog,
just
all
rips
year.
people's faces off and runs down the field.
All in on the Vance dance.
and then you have James Conner who catches the ball. So I kind of find him
These are more
Dynasty.
like
These are back end guys
These are
for
more
sure.
like
But I
dynasty
would,
guys
but I
going forward
wouldn't,
and whatnot.
I wouldn't be surprised if Deontay Johnson took James Washington's job. I mean, Big Ben's calling him out left and right.
It's not crazy.
It's not that crazy.
And
but-
there's one thing that you can't teach is someone who can run good routes. If you can get open, I don't care who you are.
That extra wide receiver role, like
It's solid.
But what I'm saying is that like they're not glued to anybody there.
No.
They kind of have like Juju's our
That's
guy, and then that's it. Like everything else is kind of like
if training camp comes around and this dude's balling and he's running good routes and he's finding space or like soft spots in zones or winning one-on-one coverages, like
because
he's
James
gonna
Washington
be there.
hasn't really.
Bro, they traded up to
proved
get this.
himself.
They traded up to get this guy too.
They brought Eli Rogers
back
in. To
just flip kind of it, side of the coin, just so people. It's like Mike Tomlin. They Steelers straight up said they like when we saw James Washington, we thought the same. We thought as Juju, like we see the same in him as well. Juju even came out himself. He's like, just wait, James Washington's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean,
They were
just
expecting-
throwing
Just a
the
dynasty name.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
for sure.
just
These are
throwing,
some,
just throwing both
if
sides.
I mean,
of
that
the
could be his.
Dynasty league.
And you never know. That could be his homie.
These are some guys you should be, pay attention to.
know the
you what I'm
names.
saying? So,
Yeah, you never know. James Washington. I mean,
any other honorable mention?
of
Wide
course,
receiver
man.
names or
Your guys' boy, dog, Preston Williams out of Colorado State,
for the Miami
Dolphins, stud, went to Tennessee, transferred, went to Colorado State. He probably accidentally pushed his girlfriend. I don't know, but he got into it with his girlfriend.
She got
He got suspended, violated his restraining order, and got suspended for the whole season. His whole year, didn't play one game. Came back his senior year and put up 14 touchdowns and like 1,400 receiving yards, and balled. And I guess dude just like flipped everything around. So teams didn't want to take him as far as like drafting him, but now teams are the Dolphins found out that it was just like a bad night. Just like he's not a bad dude. He's a good kid, loves football, I guess, but he's like a freak athlete.
Yeah.
And he went to like the perfect team. He's on the Dolphins who are screaming for somebody to be good.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. I'm sure you've seen it too, Anthony. We've seen a lot of reports on this guy. They're talking about like he's, definitely in line to make the team. Yeah, as an undrafted rookie. Going forward, we'll see what happens. So
dynasty name.
yeah, dynasty name for sure.
I feel like he could. It's crazy he didn't get drafted, but I'm big on this dude, and I can see him taking a job. I don't know when their bye week is, but I can see him if it's sooner in the season. And he does well. I can see him carving some out. I mean, you have Albert Wilson, you have Kenny Stills, you have your boy Devontae Parker.
I'm sold on Devontae Parker.
And
I think he finally breaks through, but
And the
we'll
good
see
thing
what
is
happens.
they have a new coaching staff.
For sure,
So
yeah.
I mean,
There's still Jakeem Grant.
yeah. So it's open.
Kevin Hart.
It's open season. It's open season. I mean, I like Devontae Parker.
It's gonna be
He's a
hard
freak.
time. It's gonna be a hard dynasty. It's gonna be hard for him to break through this year.
for sure.
Yeah, but of all teams, they have like the worst receiving core I think in football. One of them. Not to disrespect you guys, but
I don't care.
No, dude, fall back, dude.
just saying.
Last time you
Fall
guys,
back, dude.
last time you come on the podcast.
Just saying there. I hope Devontae Parker balls. but
uninvited.
I tried to trade for him last year in Dynasty, and the dude said no. But now I'm like, good luck.
For sure. All right, well, the receivers probably not really much going on. So
Yeah.
let's just kind of jump into like the tight ends here. So for the first time ever, you had two tight ends from the same college being drafted in the first round. So you got T.J. Hawkinson for the Detroit Lions, and you got Noah Fant for the Broncos. So just what's your guys' quick opinion on this? I mean, I know Anthony's gone over it a couple times, but rookie tight ends in their first years or whatever, they don't really make a huge impact fantasy-wise. So
Evan
these are
Ingram
obviously
was
like dynasty guys going forward. You know, you're waiting for second, third years. for
Yeah,
these guys
just
to
look
really
at
come
what's
through,
his
so-
name.
My redraft is I don't care and don't care basically.
Yeah. Well, Noah Fant. I mean,
I'm not
Just-
drafted.
J-
Are you
Joe
drafting
Flacco,
anyone
what I
in a
think?
redraft?
no, he's getting drafted 100%.
You know what I think?
He's for sure getting drafted.
I mean, the
You
one
know,
thing with Noah
They're
Fant,
both going to get drafted.
yeah, the one thing with Noah Fant I can say is
100%.
that
In a redraft?
100%. They're both getting drafted in
in a redraft.
redraft.
We've seen
Late,
Joe
but they both go.
Flacco. He leans on the
100%?
tight end, like you know.
I think you'd be surprised.
90,
dude.
95%.
How many redraft leagues are you in?
3.
Okay, that's a pretty good amount.
Dog, no offense. Noah Fant will go before T.J.
You
Hawkinson.
know what I think?
Yucky.
That's what I think.
So you think T.J. Hawkinson?
was that?
Wait.
Who said that?
In a 10-man league?
It's Estancia.
Who's
Estancia.
Estancia?
Estancia is our
Ooh.
it's our corporate correspondent.
Corporate correspondent.
This is upper management up here.
What'd she say?
Yucky.
That's what she said.
All right, so who would you take, Fant or Hawkinson?
For me personally, in this situation, I'm going Noah Fant. Just
I'm going
because
Fant, just because Joe Flacco.
we've seen Joe Flacco lean on the tight end position. I do believe that Noah Fant has some upside as a sneaky late round tight end for sure.
Yeah, I feel like they'll both, like, I don't know how many rounds your guys' leagues are in, but like 15th round, 14th round, I mean.
Estancia, who would you take?
Neither.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Estancia got a sex
for
change.
sure. I'm not drafting any of them as my tight end one, but ever.
Well, I hope you're drafting 2 tight ends.
What about T.J. Hawkinson though?
Yeah, with me?
He
Yeah,
went in the top 10.
Dog, I drafted Kelsey and Ertz. 100%.
Well, it's different, but these are like late.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're worth. Yeah, I mean, same thing. Keeper, but
Nope.
no. Yeah.
What
I'm
about
not-
Hawkinson?
Well,
he went in like the top 10, didn't he?
yeah, that's the only reason I feel like they're gonna try to use him to an extent, but they're gonna
But
run
you
the ball
don't think
more.
that with you got like Theo Riddick,
Is he still on the team?
Marvin Jones? Yeah, Theo Riddick's still
I
there.
thought
They're
Kerryon
talking about
Johnson.
cutting, but he's
I thought-
still there.
yeah,
He's
I-
still there. He's still
I
there.
thought they were
I
gonna
mean, you
cut
still
him.
got these players over here. Like you think,
Shit.
are they really gonna involve
Rookie
him?
tight end. Yeah,
It's
these
tough.
guys are streamers at best.
Yeah.
No, Fan will get drafted.
And then,
I like
and then he'll
Fant.
get dropped.
I like Fant.
No, dude. No.
What do you
'Cause
want to put it? I put you top 15. I'm giving you a lot of room. 'cause
Beer
top
bet?
15 is not that hard.
For tight end?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what.
Awful.
That's
Top 15.
That's where like he's like projected to go. He's projected to be right there.
Okay, well if you're
So, I mean, I'm just saying that's not like
he's
a
to get
crazy-
drafted in top 15. So beer bet it.
All right, we'll be your bet top 15 if
All
he
right.
doesn't get hurt.
Beer
though.
bet, put it on the board.
I was gonna say he's like
Beer
right
bet.
there. That's like
What's the beer bet?
Okay,
right? That's what.
What's the beer bet? Make it official.
top 15.
No Fant.
Yeah,
You're saying Noah Fant will beat you top 15
outside the
why
top
not?
15.
outside.
Ooh, I
And
might have to
Dre's
go.
on.
I think I might have to go in the top 15.
All right, fuck it, do it.
All right,
Make it
so
both
Do
Anthony,
you take Jimmy Graham or Noah Fant?
officially, this is the beer bet. Noah Fant will be within the top 15. Then Anthony drinks 2 beers. Otherwise,
They
if
drink
Noah
2
Fant
beers.
drinks or Noah Fant
Dude,
gets
if you
in the
could get
top
Noah
15.
Fant to come here and drink beers, I'll drink twice as many as he will. Maybe.
Okay, listen, I gotta officially say this, and then otherwise Noah Fant in top 15. Then you guys have to drink beers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beer bet.
I finally got that out.
Word. Hey, would you take Jason Witten or Noah Fant?
Neither.
No Fant.
Okay. Would you take Jack Doyle or Noah Fant?
Doyle.
I'd take the Doyle.
Neither.
Neither.
Really?
Yeah.
Did Estancia get a sex change? Is
She
Estancia?
did.
is
Dallas-
it-
actually,
is
I
that
like
the
Dallas
Latin guy?
Goddard.
Estancio.
Estancio.
I actually like Mark Andrews more than Dallas.
I would take
Goedert.
Mark Andrews
I would-
over for sure.
Oh, what? I would take Mark Andrews over Austin Hooper, Jason Witten, Jack Doyle. I would take him over Vance McDonald almost.
Austin Hooper.
The tight end episode. We might have to do a whole episode on tight ends. Stay tuned.
Yeah, but for rookies, it's a little hard, you know.
Oh no, because I mean, Evan Ingram 2 years ago was like really like the only silver lining that actually did.
He's
all
the
right.
only tight end I
That
think
did
in
well.
like 12 years or 15 years of history to like finish where he finished.
He finished a tight end 1, like as far as
His rookie, yeah.
We just wanted to give you guys some of the names that you get all these rookies coming in, so
And you got
just
Urban
some names
Meyer.
to be familiar with.
So
'cause
week
these are
3
guys
was-
who are in dynasty leagues. You should be paying attention to for sure, and some guys who are, in, 2-3 years from now, you guys are gonna be probably hearing a lot of these names more.
Yeah, we just want to get these names relevant, so you
Yeah.
guys.
so when Noah Fant has 6 catches for 80 yards and 2 tugs the first week,
You'll be like, oh shit, Dre said that.
I'm off to a good start.
The Messiah has spoken.
No, because then
Then he finishes with 35
No, I was gonna
and
say because he. No,
420
no, I was gonna say
and
he could easily break his leg the next play, and then the bet's off, and then I'm pissed.
All right, well, shout out to Mrs. Isabella,
Aw,
Karen. Do your thing.
I think we talked more about Mrs. Isabella off camera.
Ooh,
If he
Mrs.
finishes
Isabella.
top 3 rookie wide receiver, I'm gonna find his mom.
Fuck her.
Yes, I'll ask her what kind of booze she likes to drink while she watches her son play, and then we'll get it cracking.
Yo, can we just get Mrs. Isabella to shout us out? That would be like.
but what if she is really bad and has a fat ass though? Like, what if we were right?
Sure.
Like, what if we
I
were
feel
right
like
on everything?
I feel like you've been looking at Andy Isabella's profile pics a little too hard.
I know. I already told you.
He's been photoshopping wigs on Andy
I
Isabella.
told you. If you want to see a hot mom, it's
His mom is hella fast.
and she runs a 4.5 because in heels.
Dude, I foot raced that bitch.
Apparently, she's lightning.
Yeah, she's a wizard.
She's a wizard. She's a wizard.
She's a 40 running heel wearing wizard. 4.5.
It's hot.
Hey, dude.
Well, listen, man. You guys just listened to season 2, episode 2,
Part
Rookie.
2.
Rookie edition.
Rookie edition with our boy, our rookie correspondent, Andre Navarro. Thank you for stepping in. We appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Of course, dude.
Love you
and
guys.
I love having you here, man. You put a little insight. You kill it here, dude.
I love y'all. Hopefully, I'll be back soon and claim these beer bets.
No, definitely.
You
we
guys
definitely will. We won't forget.
I'm here. I'll shotgun them too. I'm not even gonna
We
check
got
it.
a long time, but
Well, no, I can't. What?
6.
Nah.
Well, wait. We'll
We'll have them on like
It's
a
like 5
random
months
episode.
away. No, I'm saying for the beer bets to be done. These.
Okay, can we?
Oh,
It's like
hey.
5 months away.
Can we do like
We're
degenerate?
more accountable for the beer bets.
No,
So,
can
well, we still
can
got
we do degenerate
preseason,
like
the full season.
yeah? I'll say degenerate like preseason beer bets. Like
All right.
Yeah, you want to put one out right now?
I don't even know who's played yet.
Preseason. Let's guess who gets injured.
Well, hopefully, you're gonna have Dalvin
shot in
Cook,
the dark.
Dalvin Cook, Jordan Howard. What else we got over
Big
here?
Ben.
Oh man,
I'm gonna guess it's a
you want to
running
talk
back.
about it? You want to
Dude,
talk about an injury that
Yeah,
would
you want to talk about a piece of shit.
No.
Let's talk about
I
Big
was gonna
Ben.
say you want to talk about an injury, dog. If
Injury
Big,
prone?
If Big Ben gets hurt, the Steelers are winning like
I think
3
last
games.
year was the first time in a long time he played full 16.
Did he? But how many teammates did he blame
I
for
think
losing?
I bet $100. I bet $100.
How many teammates did he blame for losing though? Like 20?
I bet $100 that the Steelers are gonna win the division this year.
Oh, dude, just
Oh,
give
so
me
you just threw
$100.
away
How many?
$100,
hey,
bro.
how many games are they gonna win?
10.
Dude, they're not even
They're
gonna
gonna
beat
win 10 and 6.
Yeah.
I can see they're gonna beat each other up.
Dude, we've been working on our defense. When we've never had a fucking offensive good team, like a championship team with a great
I
offense.
mean, you had Le'Veon, you had the killer beast.
Yeah, but that never fucking amounted to anything. We got to AFC Championship
Big
game and
Ben's
we
not
lost.
shit.
No, honestly, you know what ruined it is Ryan Shazier getting paralyzed.
No, dude, that's exactly that. And look,
Yeah,
we just got a
100%.
fucking brand new linebacker. That's
Instead of brand new, like it's a car, I got a brand new linebacker.
yeah, right off
Nice
the
little
fucking
shaggy
lot,
linebacker.
dude. This motherfucker
They've been
Devin Bush.
polishing it.
Because of the 5-year
They've been
warranty.
waxing
So Mike doesn't follow any college football, and he's just like, bro, we got Devin Bush, dog. He's about to be so fucking good, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
He's gonna be good though.
Hey.
He said he got a 5-year
He's a
100
wizard.
tackle
bro, we got
warranty.
Trayvon. We drafted Trayvon
He's a
Kitchen.
middle
the other day.
linebacker wizard, yo. He's a wizard, son.
He's out there
Trayvon
just casting
Kitchen.
You know what? I'm
spells.
gonna show up to the next podcast in a fucking wizard uniform, like the whole thing with a wand and
The
everything.
Steelers are 0-5. All right, bro. Fucking let me have it. Just-
Hey, Devin Bush is like ass, like he gets benched.
Hey, I'll beer bet you that the Steelers don't win 10 games.
Ooh.
all right.
All right. Damn, we're just hitting beer.
Wait,
bets.
so 10's a.
I forget the Browns are in that division.
So
the
what if they win?
Yeah,
Oh,
and the
okay.
Bengals.
So 10 and over. Okay.
Dude, they might. Dude,
They might be
So if
cellar
they hit 10,
dwellers.
I lose.
No,
the
8.
division might win at 8-8, which
No,
over there.
If they hit 10, I lose.
How about 8?
So the over-under is 9.5.
We're gonna make bets on it.
He goes, I
You're
see
so
your.
confident about 10.
He said, I see your 10 and I
Raise
raise it
you
to
eight.
8.
You asked me how many things I
They're
think
gonna win
they'll-
18 games this year.
Did you just hit me
You
with
asked
that?
me how many I think they'll win. You didn't ask me how many
I know
I
they'll
would
win.
bet they would win.
How many? Because I know how many they're gonna win.
I mean,
I think they're still gonna win the division, dude. I think everybody's
lose
so
to the
hyped on the
Browns.
Browns
They're
and
gonna
the
win the
Browns.
division at 8-8.
2 to the Bengals.
You think we're gonna lose the Bengals? We haven't lost to the Bengals in fucking years.
That means you're due.
No, we've shut them out. They don't. No.
Hey, Big Ben's record against the Browns is like
Who's the quarterback? in
16
Cincinnati?
and 1 or
What?
something like
It's
that.
fucking
It's
Andre
too-
Navarro.
Carnage.
Exactly.
No, it's fucking
Exactly my point.
It's Schmandy Dalton, as I call him. I call him Schmandy Dalton.
Dude. No. We're gonna be. That's 2 wins. That's 2 wins.
The Ravens
right there.
defense is going to shut you down.
Ravens could.
right,
we
here's my
usually
question.
go
You're
not
1-1
gonna do
against the
that to the
Ravens.
Browns
We usually go
offense.
1-1 against the Ravens. Usually.
How many games are the Browns winning? Watch them say 10.
10. That's what I was going to say.
Bro, what about that Monday
they're all
night
gonna be 10 and
against
6.
the Dolphins? You guys are for sure losing that game.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna be blacked out.
Oh, dude, but
Where?
average bros.
We're going.
live.
We're gonna go to the Steelers Dolphins game.
I hope it's in Miami.
It's a Monday
Monday
night
night.
game in
Dude,
Pittsburgh.
Fitzmagic
What
is
day?
going to fucking wear his.
October 28th.
Fitzmagic's
Oh,
going to
shit.
pull his sunglasses
funny.
out, throw 5 touchdowns. Fucking.
Damn, I would.
Fitzmagic is
He's
gonna
gonna
be
fuck
fucking.
Big Ben's
Monday
wife.
night, really?
Fitzmagic's gonna be diagnosed with diabetes by
He's
that
gonna
time.
fuck Big Ben's wife.
Fuck. No, we're taking
Is Big Ben married?
to the streets.
Yeah, he's like a family.
Didn't he just like rape a girl like 5 years ago?
Married to the streets. Or not.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he's married, man.
I think he raped a girl in the bathroom like 5 years ago.
Dog, I heard he raped 2 girls. 2 different times.
Dude, he raped me, but I'm okay with it.
What do you mean? I thought you already got fucked by Lamar Miller, dog. What's going
Yeah,
on?
dude, everybody's fucking me. All these football players, and I still talk about them.
I was gonna.
Did you get any
it's
child
okay.
support or what?
That's how it's like how I cope with all of this. So I talk about the football more, and it makes me feel better about it.
The coping
It's a coping mechanism. There you go.
No, I was gonna say that sounds dope. Fucking Monday night game.
Oh, I thought you were saying Big Ben raping you.
It's just gonna be freezing
does
cold,
sound
right?
tight.
I was hoping y'all would go to like Miami so y'all can like get it cracking.
Yeah, bro, you wear a beanie, dog. You keep those ears warm. It's like 95% of your fucking body warmth. Everybody knows
Your
that.
ears.
True. But
Your
I feel
ears,
that.
dude.
We're going to
Just
fucking
science.
San Francisco.
Hey, wait, can we
San
cap this
Francisco.
podcast before we just start talking
yeah.
about our plans?
Oh yeah, well, we're actually going for the Browns. No, it's the Browns Niners game Monday night. We're taking. My dad's a Browns fan, so we're
You're
taking.
pointing at him. I was like, you going?
All right, I'm going. I
I'm
guess.
taking. Well, it's like me.
He's going to a Browns
I'm
Niners.
committing.
Yeah, it's like me, Art, PD,
I'm gonna
Peck,
get a
my brother, and my
Bowflex.
dad.
I'm gonna commit.
He's like a token Browns fan. No one likes the fucking. He has a Brady Quinn jersey at home. I'm like, Pops, can you burn that? Like Brady Quinn doesn't even have a Brady Quinn jersey from the Browns in his house. He fucking has his Notre Dame Glory Day jerseys. Like, he doesn't have any of that shit. Pops is like, I know, like, but I'm waiting for Baker Mayfield. I'm like, then
know,
order the
fool.
shit. If you're waiting for it, what do you mean you're waiting for it? Shit, he's just gonna show
You're
up.
like, yeah, I gotta wait for them to release it. It's like
He
dog,
said, Miko,
it's
but I'm
been
waiting
out.
for my Baker Mayfield. I said,
Well, order it, dude.
where that though? Then I don't know. You want me to buy it? That's fucked up. Actually, I'll take a beer.
Listen,
That's moving.
thanks for listening. This was Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2, Rookie Podcast.
Return of the Wokies.
Return of the Rookies.
Wokies.
We got our boy here, rookie correspondent Andre. Thank you for being here. I know I feel like I already said this before.
But I'll
I got
see ya.
sidetracked. But yeah, go check us out. Link in the description below. Go check us out on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, all that fucking greatness. Check us out on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful, amazing, cute little boy faces.
Jesus. And then hit my Twitter handle, tweets by Dre, 3 E's, underscore between all 3. So I practice that one.
You gotta be a wizard to type that in.
You got to be a Twitter
Dude,
wizard.
if one person goes and follows you from Twitter, it's a win.
It's a success.
It's a win.
I mean, it's tweets by Dre. It's easy on the ears. I'll say.
It's not easy on the keyboard, though. I'll tell you that.
4 underscores, 2 ats.
It's not easy on the keyboard.
Hey,
and one wizard emoji.
If you're
Two T's.
if you're illiterate or just computer deficient, don't hit my line.
So if you're Mayweather.
You can read one page, one word out of this Harry Potter book, nigga.
All right. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you. Hope this helped. Don't forget to
3:30
suck me.
in the morning. We're little blueberries. I'm gonna back.